Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Welcome to this edition of Market Mantra, in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I'm Arjun Chaudhary and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Manoj Pathak.
नमस्कार। मार्केट मंत्र के ताजा अंक में आपका स्वागत है। आधे घंटे के इस कार्यक्रम में हमेशा की तरह हम देश और दुनिया की चुनी हुई कारोबारी, आर्थिक और शेयर बाजार से संबंधित ताजा खबरों को लेकर हाजिर हैं। हमारे साथ खबरों पर चर्चा के लिए ऑनलाइन आमंत्रित हैं वरिष्ठ आर्थिक पत्रकार सुषमा रामचंद्रन। सुषमा जी, कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है।
थैंक यू मनोज।
आइए शुरुआत करते हैं अंग्रेजी में हेडलाइन से, जिसे लेकर मौजूद हैं अर्जुन चौधरी।
Domestic stocks close almost flat due to losses in the index heavyweights. Sensex remains above the 50,500 mark. Nifty ends above 15,200 level. Rupee appreciates by 19 paise against the US dollar. And global indices rise as inflation worries dim after the US Fed dismissed any possibility of monetary policy tightening.
घरेलू शेयर बाजार में बिना किसी खास बदलाव के हुआ कारोबार। सेंसेक्स 50,500 के स्तर से ऊपर हुआ बंद। निफ्टी 15,200 के स्तर से ऊपर रहा। 4 महीने के न्यूनतम स्तर पर लुढ़के डॉलर की तुलना में रुपया आज 19 पैसे मजबूत हुआ और अमेरिका में फेडरल रिजर्व द्वारा मौद्रिक नीति में सख्ती की किसी भी संभावना से इनकार किए जाने के बाद मुद्रास्फीति से संबंधित चिंताएं हुई दूर। दुनिया भर के शेयर बाजारों में लिवाली देखने को मिली। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजारों में सकारात्मक रुख के बावजूद घरेलू शेयर बाजार में आज बिना किसी खास उतार चढ़ाव के बदलाव के कारोबार हुआ और कारोबार के अंत में प्रमुख सूचकांक बिना किसी खास बदलाव के बंद हुए। विशेष बात यह रही कि इंडेक्स हेवीवेट के शेयरों की बिकवाली की गई, जिसका असर बाजार में आखिरकार दिखा। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स कारोबार के अंत में 14 अंक घटकर 50,638 पर बंद हुआ। उधर नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी 11 अंक की बढ़त लेकर 15,208 दर्ज हुआ। विस्तृत बाजारों की ओर चलें तो वहां भी छोटी और मझौली कंपनियों के सूचकांक में अलग अलग रुख दिखा है। एक और बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स 0.31% घाटे में रहा, वहीं स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.26% की वृद्धि हुई।
Sensex and Nifty today closed almost flat amid losses in the index heavyweights, even as the global cues were positive. Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange remained above the 50,500 mark, while the Nifty at the NSE ended above the 15,200 level. Sensex fell by 14 points to finish at 50,638. Divergently, the Nifty added 11 points to settle at 15,208. In the broader market at the BSE, the mid-cap declined by 0.31%, while the small cap gained 0.26%. In the Sensex pack, shares of 21 companies climbed, while 9 logged losses. Axis was the top gainer as it climbed 3.4%, followed by Titan, which gained 3.2%. Bajaj Financial Services climbed 1.9%. ONGC added 1.4%, while TCS and Infosys both rose more than 1%. On the other side, HDFC Bank tumbled 2%, Axis Bank declined 1.3%, and Reliance fell 1.1%. In sectoral indices, 13 out of 19 sectors climbed. The consumer durable sector was the top gainer as it surged 1.5%, followed by consumer discretionary goods and services, which gained 1.2%. IT rose 1%, while tech and metal both added 0.9%. On the other hand, power declined 0.9% and energy fell 0.8%. BankX and finance both slipped by 0.7%. Another correction, Asian Paints was the top gainer as it climbed 3.4%, not Axis Bank. Axis Bank declined by 1.3%. The overall breadth of the BSE trade was positive as shares of 1,786 companies gained, while 1,342 declined. Shares of 153 companies remained unchanged.
नजर डालें रुपए की स्थिति पर तो अंतर बैंकिंग विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में $1 की तुलना में रुपया आज 19 पैसे मजबूत हुआ, 72 रुपए 78 पैसे के स्तर पर पहुंच गया। उधर दुनिया की 6 प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में डॉलर की स्थिति दर्शाने वाला सूचकांक अंतरदिवसीय कारोबार में 0.24% कमजोर होकर 4 महीने के न्यूनतम स्तर 89.63 पर आ गया।
Sushma, once again a warm welcome to you on Market Mantra.
Thank you, Arjun.
Sushma, what's your take on the market performance today and for the week, especially with the FNO expiry on the 27th? Do you expect the market to be volatile, unpredictable, and hold the current levels?
Well, I think, the market for the last few days has been very much on the upswing. And today's, this flat situation that we are watching, it's clearly a case of profit booking, and the market is kind of calming down for a day or so. As we look forward, of course, to the expiry, the date of expiry, FNO expiry, I think I don't expect really volatility. In fact, I would probably expect that the market would continue to be a bit flat for a day or two. But this bullish trend I expect to continue largely because the number of cases, COVID cases in India are coming down. And I think that is what is driving the euphoria in the market right now, because not only are the overall all India cases coming down, but in the major metros like Mumbai and Delhi, which are really the industrial centers of the country, there's a fairly rapid decline. So there is a feeling that, the lockdown, for instance, in Delhi, the announcement has been made that probably from Sunday, you're going to have slowly the lockdown easing. So the fact that in, in major commercial centers, the lockdown will start easing has, of course, eased the worries of trade and industry. So that is, I think that's the main driver in the last few days, and it will be so in the coming days also.
सुषमा जी, क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि शेयर बाजार कह लें, खासतौर से जो सेंसेक्स है वो 50,000 के दायरे के आसपास ऊपर नीचे लगातार हो रहा है, यानी 50,000 के स्तर से थोड़ा सा बढ़ जाना, फिर उसके बाद थोड़ा सा नीचे आ जाना, यानी एक यानी कह लें जो श्रेणी सीमित दायरे में सेंसेक्स का व्यवहार नहीं लग रहा लगातार।
हाँ, बिल्कुल, ये हो रहा है, लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में ये जो 50,000 की जो स्तर है, उसको मेरे ख्याल ये पार कर देगा, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा, ये एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है ये कि कोविड के केसेस कम हो रहे हैं, और हालांकि इतने अगर आप नंबर्स देखें तो ऑल इंडिया में काफी अभी भी बड़े हैं, लेकिन मार्केट थोड़ी सी यूफोरिक हो जाती है स्मॉल इंडिकेटर्स से, और ये जरूरी नहीं है कि इकोनॉमी, ये आर्थिक स्थिति हमारी एकदम से अच्छी हो जाएगी, लेकिन ये है कि उस तरफ जा रही है। पिछली बारी भी हमारा जो इकोनॉमिक बाउंस बैक था, फर्स्ट वेव और सेकेंड वेव समझ लीजिए, मैं तो इसको थर्ड वेव मानती हूँ, सेकेंड वेव नहीं, तो ये जो पहली वेव में जो बाउंस बैक हुआ था वो बहुत ही तेजी से हुआ था। तो इसको देखते हुए है जो और ये भी देखते हुए कि जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जैसे IMF है और बाकी जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, वो भी इस साल को सोच रही है कि काफी ग्रोथ के तौर से ग्रोथ काफी बढ़ेगा इस साल। हालांकि पहले क्वार्टर में तो ग्रोथ की कंट्रैक्शन शायद होगी या ग्रोथ का बहुत कम होगा, धीमी तौर से होगा, लेकिन आगे जाके काफी जोर से इनफैक्ट इसका जो acceleration of growth की expectation है।
Sushma, we are seeing a volume spike of more than 100% in metal stocks and companies like Jindal Steel, Nalco, and SAIL. What's the outlook for metal and mining and basic materials also? Because Asian Paints was up by 4.2% today. We are seeing commodity-linked stocks really picking up in this previous quarter. What is the outlook for it in the current and the next quarter?
Well, I think the outlook is fairly bright because several factors. First of all, within the country, domestically also, the government has declared its intention to make very large investments in infrastructure where the requirements of metals will be very high. Secondly, on a global level also, you are seeing that metal stocks are going up. Metal prices are going up because the demand in countries like China, which have, come back to full economic activity, has increased many-fold. So these are the main issues that, when you're coming back to normal economic activity, especially in the infrastructure sector, the requirement of metals and minerals, these kind of raw materials, these are the basic, let's say, the basic issues related to manufacture, the basic elements required for the manufacturing sector. And this is why their requirements, their demand, their prices have gone up overall, not just globally within the country, but metal stocks also obviously have gone up for this reason.
What about, you spoke about GDP estimates being revised below 10% now, especially with the pace of vaccination. Barclays has come out with a report. Again, it's all based on the vaccine drive and, of course, when the markets open up post the lockdown. What is your view and your estimate on the economy, not just for the quarter, but for the entire year?
Well, it's very clear that the estimates that were originally made will have to be downgraded to some extent. And people were talking about 11-12% growth this year. We will have to see that we have to take into account the fact that the first quarter, that is the April to June quarter, is likely to show, either a contraction or an extremely low level of growth this year, because this particular COVID wave was rather unexpected, and so this was not factored into the growth estimates made by many multilateral institutions, many investment rating agencies, and you of course pointed out Barclays Bank. So they have downgraded it, and that's rightly so, because you're going to have, this blip in the first quarter, and that's going to affect the entire year. But I would anticipate that if the peak of cases declines by July, and we have a revival of economic activity from July onwards or end June onwards, then we can see much better growth. I would hesitate to give any, particular numbers, but obviously around maybe at least 9% or so. And don't forget, of course, that we are talking on a very low base of last year.
सुषमा जी, यहाँ पर हम समझना चाहेंगे श्रोताओं के नजरिए से कि जो यानी आपके अनुमान हैं, उन अनुमानों में कौन सा क्षेत्र है जो उभरता हुआ, यानी कौन सा सेक्टर है जो उभरता हुआ नजर आ सकता है जुलाई के बाद, जो हम एक गति देखते हैं अर्थव्यवस्था में आती हुई, तो वह कौन कौन से ऐसे क्षेत्र हो सकते हैं जो बेहतर प्रदर्शन करेंगे?
देखिए, एक तो अभी जो बात की है हमने मेटल्स का, क्योंकि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर के रिलेटेड जो भी सेक्टर्स हैं, जहां रॉ मटेरियल्स जाएंगे और जहां इक्विपमेंट एंड मशीनरी जाएगी, तो उसके रिलेटेड तो सारे सेक्टर्स हैं ही. दूसरी तरफ अगर आप देखें तो बैंकिंग सेक्टर जो है उसके ऊपर आई थिंक मतलब काफी इसकी गति बढ़ेगी मार्केट में, क्योंकि बैंकिंग ही मेन फोकस है और बैंकिंग के ऊपर काफी रिफॉर्म्स किए हैं सरकार ने. और बाकी अगर आप देखिए कंज्यूमर गुड्स, फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स की तरफ, क्योंकि इस वक्त जो डिमांड है, मेरे ख्याल डिमांड इस वक्त लो है, लेकिन डिमांड बढ़ेगी आगे जाके जून जुलाई में. अभी तक सारी जो ई कॉमर्स के ऊपर जो एक वो भी एक एरिया है, ई कॉमर्स के ऊपर जो फोकस है वो शायद वापस चला जाएगा रिटेल क्षेत्र में. तो ये मतलब काफी क्षेत्र हैं, आई वुड से ब्रॉड बेस्ड रिवाइवल होगा जून के बाद.
What's your take on the rupee once again appreciating by 19 paise against the US dollar? It's right now in the sub 73 level against the US dollar. What are the primary reasons for the rupee appreciating and remaining range bound here, or do you expect the rupee to appreciate even further?
Well, don't forget that everybody was talking about the rupee till middle of last month as, one of the worst performing currencies in this region. And it had reached probably a 9-month low in April. And that was because of the revival of the COVID surge, rather, in this country. and the rather depressing outlook. Now, suddenly, the rupee has started appreciating, and it's looking like the best performing currency in the Southeast Asian region. So the reason, once again, is linked to the progress of the COVID surge, the decline in numbers that we have seen for the last 2 weeks, and also the fact that India remains the most attractive emerging economy for foreign institutional investors, even though they have done a lot of selling in this month and last month. If you see, estimates of flows coming from foreign institutional investors, the largest beneficiary has remained India in this region, probably followed by Indonesia. So we still remain, the potential for economic growth in this country is still considered pretty good. As I said, especially because the last time or the last wave, we rebounded from the contraction so rapidly. So it is felt that there is great potential for growth here.
सुषमा जी, हम डॉलर की स्थिति पर आपका ध्यान आकृष्ट करना चाहेंगे। डॉलर 4 महीने के न्यूनतम स्तर पर आ गया है दुनिया की 6 प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में। डॉलर की यह कमजोरी किस कारण से मान रही हैं आप?
देखिए, डॉलर की कमजोरी तो कई वजह से है। ये जो क्राइसिस, ओवरऑल क्राइसिस अमेरिका में जो है, और खैर वहां पर तो सिनेरियो बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी जो स्टिमुलस पैकेज आया है उससे इतना जो इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी है वहां पर इतनी अच्छी नहीं हो रही जितनी होनी चाहिए उनके हिसाब से। हमारे हिसाब से तो खैर अच्छी है, लेकिन उनके हिसाब से इतनी अच्छी नहीं हो रही। तो और काफी आउटफ्लो ऑफ वहाँ जो फंड्स हैं वो भी काफी जा रहा है। फंड जो उनका स्टिमुलस है, उनकी जो पैसा है हमारे ही तरफ जा रहा है इस वक्त। तो और तीसरी बात ये है कि वहाँ पर ये जो बड़े जो कंपनीज हैं, टेक बेस्ड कंपनीज हैं, उनकी काफी प्रॉब्लम्स रही हैं उनकी सरकार के साथ। तो ये इस वक्त जो काफी जैसे इकोनॉमिक इश्यूज, उनकी जॉब की प्रॉब्लम है वहां पर, वो भी है। तो ये सारी वजह से बेसिकल डॉलर इस वक्त थोड़ी सी तकलीफ में, मुझे लगता है ये तो स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा।
Another question regarding the rupee, the volume of imports for gold has gone up, whereas the comparative volume of imports for oil has come down, even though the prices of gold have been flat and steady, whereas the price of oil has gone up. So how do you see the rupee dealing with that, not only on a regular basis or a month-on-month basis, but a quarter or an annual basis?
Well, first of all, when you take imports of one of the reasons for the decline in imports of oil is because of lower consumption in the country. Lower consumption simply because of the lower pace of economic activity. The oil consumption had gone up around January and February and March. It has once again declined, and therefore, and of course, last year. In 2020, the demand for oil had fallen considerably. So that is one reason. That is one factor. The other one, as far as gold is concerned, gold prices are now declining, relatively rather. The major reason being that this is, of course, a safe haven asset, and as vaccinations are occurring globally, the appetite is going towards more riskier assets, and the safe haven asset is no longer considered so attractive. So these are the factors as far as gold and oil are concerned. The rupee, as I said, the rupee is going to continue appreciating, I would suspect, for some days to come, as long as this very positive, or rather the somewhat relatively positive scenario continues as far as COVID is concerned.
We spoke about the rising input costs, especially commodity has picked up because of demand for it. What does it mean for processors, those who will finish it into a product? Do you see that impacting inflation, or GST would be one way of controlling prices?
Well, I think the processors have the same problems as manufacturers, all kinds of manufacturers right now. Right now, everybody is facing a paucity of workforce, labor force. And of course, when things improve, one can really talk about whether the processing industry of, the metal processing or any other types of processing of inputs will look up. But for the time being, I think they are facing the problems related to localized lockdowns all over the country. And therefore, these are problems that are only going to be ironed out, I would think, in a month or two.
आइए अब चलें वैश्विक बाजारों की ओर। सबसे पहले नजर डालते हैं एशियाई शेयर बाजार पर, जहां आज लिवाली तेज रही। अमेरिका में फेडरल रिजर्व द्वारा मौद्रिक नीति में सख्ती बरतने की किसी भी संभावना से इनकार किए जाने के बाद मुद्रास्फीति से संबंधित चिंताएं दूर हो गईं और अमेरिकी शेयर बाजार बीते कारोबारी सत्र में लाभ के साथ बंद हुए। इसका अनुकूल असर आज एशियाई शेयर बाजार पर दिखा है। निवेशकों की सक्रिय भागीदारी से चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स 2.4% लाभ में रहा। हांगकांग का हैंग सेंग 1.8% बढ़त के साथ बंद हुआ। दक्षिण कोरिया के कोस्पी में 0.9% की वृद्धि हुई। वहीं जापान का निक्केई 225 और सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स दोनों सूचकांक 0.7% लाभ में रहे। यूरोपीय शेयर बाजार की ओर चलें तो समाचार तैयार किए जाने तक मिला जुला रुख बना हुआ था। अंतर्दिवसीय कारोबार में लंदन का FTSE 100 0.1% नीचे था। वहीं फ्रांस का CAC 40 0.2% की वृद्धि के साथ कारोबार कर रहा था। उधर जर्मनी का DAX 0.8% लाभ में चल रहा था।
Moving on to the U.S. market, Wall Street's main indices gained yesterday as investors invested in the rate-sensitive technology shares. Technology sector stocks climbed as yields on the benchmark 10-year Treasury bond hit a two-week low. On the other hand, investors remained cautious about the weak dollar and key inflation readings later this week. However, risk sentiment improved with cryptocurrencies clawing back ground. Leading crypto exchange operators gained between 1.9% to 4.4%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.5%. The S&P 500 gained 1%. And the Nasdaq Composite Index climbed 1.4%. Sushma, what's your view not only about the Federal Reserve's move to keep the yield on 10-year Treasury bonds at 1.6% and above at this stage, and the inflation being cited at 2%, but more importantly, the rise of the cryptocurrency? There are those who support it, and you have exactly the opposite kind of response to the growth of the cryptocurrency. How do you see this in the U.S. economy and its spread globally?
Well, as far as the bond yields are concerned, you're seeing that the decline in bond yields is leading to, the investments going into stocks and shares, and I think that is how the Federal Reserve wants it right now. As far as cryptocurrencies are concerned, that's a very interesting subject because, one doesn't really know if this is a bubble or whether this is really going to, translate into some kind of, an alternate international financial system. So I would hesitate to actually give, a view on this because, Bitcoins are really going up so rapidly and so many changes. Of course, we know, for instance, that Elon Musk repudiated Bitcoins, and then there was, a kind of the bubble crashed for a while. So it's a very volatile and a very, I would have to say, a somewhat unreal kind of financial instrument. But then you never know what turns out. So I would hesitate to make any predictions on a cryptocurrency.
हम इसे भारत में इसकी स्थिति को लेकर आपकी बहुत संक्षिप्त प्रतिक्रिया समझना चाहेंगे, क्योंकि हमारे श्रोता समझना चाहेंगे कि भारत में क्रिप्टो करेंसी को लेकर क्या नीति है और आरबीआई की क्या गाइडलाइंस हैं और इसमें निवेश का कैसा यानी उनका रुख रहना चाहिए।
नहीं, देखिए, ये हमारे देश में बिल्कुल क्लियर है, आरबीआई इसको मानता नहीं है, बिटकॉइन को या क्रिप्टो करेंसी को वो बिल्कुल नहीं मानते कि ये लीगल कोई करेंसी है और यहाँ पर ट्रेडिंग नहीं हो सकती है, और अभी तक उन्होंने इसके बारे में कोई क्लियरेंस नहीं दिया है। लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में उनको शायद थोड़ा सा लिबरल इसके बारे में होना चाहिए, क्योंकि विश्व भर में ये क्रिप्टो करेंसी की मतलब यूटिलाइजेशन ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहे हैं, तो शायद आरबीआई को इसके बारे में फिर से इसकी नीति बनानी चाहिए।
जी।
Moving on to more news, the Union Cabinet has granted ex post facto approval to the MOUs entered into by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and the Institute of Company Secretaries of India with various foreign countries and organizations. The two institutes have signed MOUs with foreign organizations, including the Institute of Public Accountants Australia, the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment UK, Institute of Certified Management Accountants Sri Lanka, and Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators UK. The various memoranda seek to facilitate a mutual recognition of qualifications and a range of collaborative activities for the exchange of knowledge, experience sharing and technical cooperation by way of participation in annual conferences, training programs and joint research projects. Moving on to the oil market now. Oil prices today slipped marginally, but were near one-week highs after jumping more than 3% in the previous session, as investors tempered expectations of an early return of oil exporter Iran to the international crude markets. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $68.40 per barrel, while WTI crude prices were around $65.90 per barrel. Sushma, your brief view on why oil prices are not falling even further, despite the demand for oil is not as high as it was before.
Well, the demand is going up very, very rapidly. And the fact is also, again, linked to COVID, the fact that there are vaccination drives all over the world, and the fact that economic activity is expected to come back to normal. So the oil markets are factoring that in. There's an expectation that oil demand will come back to normal. Plus, the entry of Iran is not expected to depress the market because there already a lot of inventories have been drawn down. This is, of course, bad news for India because anything over $65 is certainly not viable for this country.
आइए चलें सर्राफा बाजार। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजारों में कमजोरी के रुख के बीच घरेलू शेयर बाजार में सोने का मूल्य आज अपने पूर्व स्तर पर टिका रहा। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज में सोने का मूल्य बिना किसी परिवर्तन के 48,560 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर बना रहा। चांदी 280 रुपए फिसलकर 71,530 रुपए प्रति किलो रह गई। न्यूयॉर्क मर्केंटाइल एक्सचेंज में सोने का मूल्य थोड़ा सा कमजोर हुआ, $1,884.30 प्रति औंस पर आ गया। चांदी $27.75 प्रति औंस पर फिसल गई। बहुत संक्षेप में सुषमा जी प्रतिक्रिया हम सोने के मूल्यों पर लेना चाहेंगे। आने वाले दिनों में इसकी चमक और तेज होने के आसार हैं या सोने का भाव अब कम आएगा?
मेरे ख्याल में कम ही आएगा क्योंकि ये सेफ हेवन एसेट है और जो क्राइसिस तो कोविड का था और कोविड का है, लेकिन वो कम होता जा रहा है। तो ये सेफ हेवन की जरूरत नहीं है, लोग बाकी रिस्कियर एसेट्स के पास चले जाएंगे।
Very briefly, silver has been picking up for the last calendar year. Why? Very briefly.
Well, silver is also, a safe haven asset like gold, but it's not of the same category. But I don't anticipate that here also you'll have a very sharp escalation in prices.
बस यहीं पर श्रोताओं की ओर से सुषमा जी हम आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे।
And before we close, a reminder of the headlines. Domestic stocks close almost flat due to losses in the index heavyweight. Sensex remains above the 50,500 mark. Nifty ends above 15,200 level. Rupee appreciates 19 paise against the US dollar. And global indices rise as inflation worries dimmed after the US Fed dismissed any possibility of monetary policy tightening. And that's it in this edition of Market Mantra for now. Goodbye.